World Cancer Day is coming up on February 4th. Starting this year, the global theme is closing the care gap. In tonight's More Tomorrows Together, CTV's Michelle Gerwing shows you how one initiative is connecting Manitoba communities which face barriers to care.
Growing up in Canada was such a, for me, it was very a warm place, a wonderful community.
To Marlene Combat, St. Laurent, Manitoba is and always will be home. Historically, it's a Métis community. It's also a place, she says, where cancer gets diagnosed at later stages all too often.
You're diagnosed with cancer, it's devastating for the person diagnosed and also for the family. And sometimes they don't know, where to go for help, resources, what's available. So this is where I would come in.
Combat is a Cancer Care Manitoba community connector, a position she took on a few years ago. Because she knows the area and people so well, she's been able to help close gaps standing in the way of equitable care. In one case, right at the start of the pandemic, a patient needing radiation couldn't get a ride into Winnipeg for her treatments.
And felt that was it. You know what, I'm going to just get sicker and I'm not going to get better.
Combat made a call to help arrange a ride into the city and an affordable hotel stay.
This is a really one effort of closing the gap for us at Cancer Care.
President and CEO of Cancer Care Manitoba, Dr. Sri Navaratnam, says closing the gap is the new theme of World Cancer Day happening this year on February 4th.
There is a gap in many different levels. First is, if you look at it globally, there are some areas of the world that they don't have cancer services as we do.
She says within Manitoba, gaps in care can exist because of social determinants of health.
Education level or their family income and who you are, the ethnicity, discrimination, all are bringing gap to the care.
Another gap, she says, is in research and innovation.
The huge gap, I would say, in research is clinical trials. Access to clinical trials, one is there are lots of challenges for everyone. And again, there is challenges to the people who are living remotely.
My name is Marlene.
Getting people together to talk about cancer-related issues is what Combat would like to do.
Being a Métis community, there is, people do feel comfortable talking about issues like that and supporting each other.
Since that's not possible because of the pandemic, Combat has made a community connector Facebook page and a healthy living website for St. Laurent with a section to ask questions or share their stories anonymously.
Because you know what, that is the best way to get people connecting is by sharing stories.
She also has an open door policy at her office. Michelle Gerwing, CTV News, Winnipeg.
There are 70 cancer care community connectors across Manitoba and in one region of Nunavut. Closing the gap is the theme for World Cancer Day for 3 years.
More Tomorrows Together is brought to you by Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation.